Well, there are now nearly 3 million Syrian refugees in Turkey. Joining me from Ankara is Selin Unal. She's a spokeswoman for the UN Refugee Agency in Turkey. Selin, thank you very much for your time. Good to see you there. Can you just help us understand them? Because we've heard many different numbers over the last few days, and some of them are contradictory as well. Can you just tell us, as far as you understand, how many people there are in camps on the Turkey-Syria border?
Well, thanks for your question and having us on your program. Actually, it's really difficult to give you a number and figure on how many people are waiting at the border, because it's just really volatile situation, and the numbers kept changing depending on the latest development taking place in the northern Aleppo. What we heard is actually on the other side of the border, there's a camp being set up by the NGOs and supported by some humanitarian agencies, and there are some 5,000 to 7,500 people at the moment being assisted and protected there.
So how many camps are there? How many crossings are there in the border, and how many camps as well?
Well, on the border, this is where the Kilis and Bab al-Salame border, at the point where some new arrivals came actually for the last few days. There's this Kilis on the other side on the Turkish side, and there are camps inside. But what is important is actually some people had to move from their homes. Once again, maybe displaced double, maybe 3 times they had to flee from their homes and try to seek some safety places. And what we saw is actually Turkey has continued its admission of the humanitarian ones to Turkish territory, which means actually the wounded ones, the children, medical cases being admitted to Turkey, and the ones actually who are there at the border are being assisted inside the camp in Syrian territory. What we want to say is actually we want to just once again clarify that we as UNHCR, we are grateful for Turkey, for the Turkish policy of open door, for the people who are seeking assistance and international protection in the territory of Turkey for the last 5 years, because Turkey is now, the greatest, hosting the greatest number of refugees in the world globally, and have provided assistance and protection to more than 2.5 million Syrian refugees, in addition to other refugees in the country. So with regards to the latest developments, what we want to say is actually international community needs to increase its supports and solidarity at that moment to Turkey and for the rest of the hosting countries, hosting Syrian refugees on the front line, because the time is actually not really going towards to a kind of a positive direction. Unfortunately, we see many more people may flee from their home to seek international protection.
And as far as the UN understands, is that open door policy still in operation on the border?
Yes, as it is mentioned by the highest authority one of the highest authorities of the Turkish government, Prime Minister Davutoglu, he has mentioned at the London conference that the country's doors will always be open for the Syrian refugees who are in need of protection. And this is what we have seen actually on the border during the war times, when there is more pressure actually. The management of the borders are very normal. What is important from our side is actually borders are being managed, but in line with the protection sensitive way, which means actually the ones who are in need of humanitarian assistance or international protection given admission to the territory, which is the case in Turkey. But what we are asking for is actually broader access for the people who are in need of international protection. And we as UNHCR, we do stand ready since the start of the crisis in 2011 with the Turkish authorities to support more on whatever we can do. For instance, with regards to providing some NFIs, meaning core relief items to the people who need assistance at immediate response, I would say, to the camps or to the urban. But we do stand ready with the Turkish authorities, and we once again want to mention our gratitude and appreciation for the ongoing policy towards the Syrian refugees.
Okay, Selin Unal, thank you very much for your time.